Can you pick out the two?
Now, this is my personal preference.
Okay.
Your personal preference.
Personal preference.
Yep.
All right. I'm sorry, bro, but it's just in me, bro. Tony gonna do it.
Yeah.
Tony
Okay,
gonna do it.
Tony Romo.
Tony gonna do it because
Makes
to
sense.
me,
Makes sense.
Will he do it? Yes, he will.
this is just to me.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that makes Tony like one of my favorite quarterbacks I've ever had a chance to be like on the same field with. Like he's the type of quarterback if your coach like calls a bullshit play.
Yeah.
What?
What? Saying,
no sound effects. Let him talk.
Oh my God.
Go ahead. Let him talk.
like, let's say like that your coach called like a play that you like that you know that's not gonna work. And it hasn't been working the whole game.
Oh.
Tony's the type of quarterback that he'll just say, just go line up on the ball. Just go line up on the ball.
Does that mean F that
And
play?
if you go back from when I scored the playoff touchdown versus the Green Bay Packers, if you go back and go watch the play,
Wow.
he's telling me to run that. Like that wasn't called. Like that wasn't called. And like I'm not afraid to say, like this is real life right
This
now.
is real.
Life. Like, I'm
Jeffrey
not afraid
Hubbard,
to
how
say
you
this.
doing?
Like,
Audio is louder than this, so you gotta let him.
I got it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Terrence.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Go back to the bullshit play.
The bull.
Yeah,
We didn't say bullshit plays.
Tony's the type of dude to say, just line up on the ball, and like, look, he'll just call it. Like he'll call it himself. Picture that you're playing like a wideout or something, and they call like something that's not gonna work. Tony he'll just say, go line up on the ball. Then like look that they'll do like downstairs hook, fake snap. Like Tony was the quarterback, like him and Travis Frederick. Like they were so smart. Like they can do like a fake snap count to where Tony can know the defense just by how people would line up. And so he'll call the play like based off of the stuff he sees. And so the Green Bay Packer game, if you go back to the very beginning, he tells me to do the hitch route. Like he tells me to do it. It's not called just like a step deeper. When you go back to the Detroit Lions game, like the first deep touchdown, like when they called back from the third down pass interference fake play that they called on me, and he came right back. That was based off of him. Like that was him. The game winning touchdown. That was based off of him. Like those wasn't plays called, and like the reason why, like I say that is like Tony's the guy. Like if we gonna lose, that we gonna lose his way.
There you go.
The way
wow.
This ain't finna work. And so that's why, like I say, like most of my touchdowns came from Tony just giving me signals. Like the crazy part is, like when you go back and go watch like the 2000 the JJ Watt touchdown, he gave me that.
The spin out.
Tony gave me that.
Yeah.
Like if you go back and go watch, he told me to go do a post. He threw his hand like this. That's why he spent off like that, and he knew to do it. It's certain stuff, you know, that makes it fun to play receiver. And Tony was the dude, and Dez will tell you that you could like that was the best time to play receiver. Like prime example, when the Philadelphia game when Dez got into it with Jenkins.
Yeah.
Tony seen that. Yeah. And so for like a receiver, when somebody gets you that mad, what did you think Tony do the whole game?
Throw it to you.
Like the whole game.
Went straight at him.
Like the whole game. Like the whole game. Just to prove a point. Like just to prove a point. Like that's like the type of dude that Tony was.
Wow.
Like Tony was it, man. Like, Tony was the type of dude, like if coach give you a play during the week, that you better know it because he might bring it up on 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and 10 type shit.
Yes,
You feel me?
indeed, man. That's some dimes right there, man. Some gems
Dimes.
that you spitting at us. Can you imagine if Tony Romo was still just in the room with the Cowboys last year on some of the calls that needed to be adjusted? Do you think Tony would have been able to be beneficial for this team?
True. Just because Tony got a great football mind. Like the world is just now seeing him commentate, like broadcasting and stuff, and you could tell he knows exactly what's going on. Now picture that you got a chance to play with that. Like that when you break the huddle, that it's cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, because you got the quarterback that's gonna like get you the plays to get the ball. Like Tony, like it's one of those minds is like they can't stop this, then the whole game. Like the whole game until they stop it.
It's like a basketball mentality. T. Will, I know it's water under the bridge because he's no longer here. Can you break down the mind of Kellen Moore since basically this was the offense for the last 3 years with the Cowboys?
Man, Kellen Moore is a great player, coach. Man, like Kellen's the type of dude to like get the ball out quick. He likes Kellen likes the mismatch problems. Like that's like his favorite thing. And to me, when you have a chance to put those two guys together, just like I've been saying before, like him and Dak, they just complemented each other so well because, like to me, like I picture Kellen Moore is just like Kellen just picturing himself playing football, but he has Dak body. Like that's how well they work hand in hand. Like to the point to where Kellen like some parts of the year last year, like to where the Cowboys just looked too good. You feel me? And like I feel like because when you have that connection between the coordinator and the quarterback, like man, like that's hard to stop. Like that is hard to stop.
That is hard to stop. Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods today. You want to know why ESPN is hemorrhaging dollars and cutting shows and getting rid of talent and things like that? It's because of great YouTube content from people like Law Nation. Law Nation was here on Monday night. Shout out to Law Nation. Over 100,000 subscribers, as well as Boss Cowboys, West Coast, and everybody else. People, they are putting in the work right now to bring you the best news on your on your team. And definitely show them all love. You may like me, you may hate me and all that, but I can guarantee one thing out there. With all of the Dallas Cowboy YouTubers, there is a person out there that I can guarantee you is your cup of tea. Even if you hate Mark Holmes, there's a channel for you out there. So shout out. And with that being said, I got a little co-host tonight. I'm sorry, he's not little. This is the mailman. I gotta be careful because I don't want him to go postal on me. And he's adjusting his camera. Or is he reaching out to grab a hold of me and choke me? He's trying to choke me. Hey. All right. So I wanted to play that clip because I definitely want to give the credit where the credit is due for Law Nation bringing all those guys together and the great content and stuff, and definitely getting the perspective of Terrence Williams, where Terrence Williams literally said out loud, when we got a bullshit ass play call, Tony said, F that. We're not doing the shit. Here's what we're going to do. And change the play. And see, that was one of the things that made Tony Romo great, and one of the reasons why him and Dez worked together so well was Tony Romo was, let's draw it on the field here and let's make this thing go. He would improvise so much. Dak is the polar opposite. Dak is more of that timing guy. Oh my goodness, we got the super chats jumping in here like crazy, and I got Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction is actually working electrical tonight, but I got my man Game Time, Brian. I got to get some theme music for you, Game Time. How you doing today, Game Time? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Game time. I got no sound. No sound. No sound. Oh man, Jeffrey Hufford. Okay, try it again, man. Jeffrey.
How about that?
There we go. Jeffrey Hubbard.
If I turned it on.
That's what she said.
It's amazing, man.
That's what she said.
Pause.
It works better when you turn it on. Man, how are you doing tonight, man? Are you getting excited?
Doing good.
Let me get some shout outs to SLTV, 23 months as a Mojo crew member. Appreciate you. Young Wilson, long time no see. How is it in Hawaii, man? Oh man, let me get these super chats because we'll be doing some drawings later on. I don't know about you, but as soon as the show started, I ended up getting a text message from Philly 500 with another link to another video. I need the season to get here. I need the season to get here right now.
Me nuts.
Oh my God! You know what? I said to him, I said, man, you're kind of going balls deep here. Excuse my language. I'm sorry, ladies. Forgive me, ladies.
Pause.
And let me say hello to Angelica Baron and Gina Dallas Diva. What's up? And of course, I know I saw Roland's review up in here. We got all kinds of people in here tonight. It must be getting close to football season because I see lots and lots of people here early. Appreciate everybody being here. And then there's Miss Hot Sauce, Lola. What's up, Lola? Who did I miss? Hold on. Miss Regina Green. What's up, Regina? How you doing? I know I got another one up here. Stacy Schubert. I got Stacy. Got Angelica about her own. Who did? Oh, Miss Gibson. What's up, Miss Gibson? Man, we got so many. See, that's the reason why Eagle fans are always hanging here, because they know we've got all the lovely ladies in the place with the style and the grace. I know I'm missing somebody here. I guess I didn't. I guess I got everybody. Of course, Eastside Herald is always in here. So, game time. It's triggering time. It's triggering time right now because I have a New York stinking Giant fan in the house here. And it does not look like Barkley is going to get the deal that he wants. And we're hearing that he might be holding out.
That would be a big mistake, Rashid. That would be a major mistake. It
That
did
would
not
be
work out so well for Levin.
Oh, and it's great news for us because I hear, and quite honestly, I understand the way he feels because
too.
you see all these players getting paid big time money. You're talking about you literally going to tell me that I'm only worth 25% of what Daniel Jones is?
Yeah, I know. I understand, but it's the position that he plays, man. Unfortunately, now's not a good time to be a running back in the NFL. So
Josh Jacobs is basically like, F this. Now, of course, here's the thing, okay? I've coined a new term, okay? I don't know if you've heard this or not, but Philly 500 is Mr. Conspiracy Theorist now. We're going to call him now Peanon. Okay, he's peeing on his peeing on theories. He now is already saying that Josh Jacobs' landing site is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles because, of course, everybody is wanting to go to Philadelphia.
that's just ridiculous. Come on, let's just stop. It's almost comical at this point. How much more do you want to surround? Number one, there's no room for the guy. You got DeAndre Swift and you got Rashad Penny, right?
You got
There's
the
no
Swifter,
room.
yeah. Well, Swift might not make it through the season. He might get injured.
I don't think either one will, but that doesn't mean you've already made your bed. You can't bring another guy in. So I don't know, man.
True. Well, I agree, but Philly 500. Yeah, he is so crazy that yesterday it was Micah Parsons wants to be an Eagle because he knows he can't beat Lane Johnson. So he can't beat him, so he wants to join him.
He can't beat him. Really? All of a sudden he can't beat Lane Johnson?
That's his thought, man. That's his thought.
Did he see the rankings by Pro Football Focus about the fourth down pressures? The number one guy, regardless of where he lines up, is Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons, yep.
So, come on, man. Come on, Philly.
He's like
you
a
don't
shark.
need to sink this low. I did send a tweet out to both of you. You guys are peaking too early. You're going at each other hard.
Who, me and Philly?
Philly's nonstop. It's like
I'm
his
only responding
thumbnails
to
every
him.
day are the same. They're getting this guy, that guy, this guy, and Dak sucks. It's always, he's just really trolling us Cowboy fans.
Listen, I am just trying. I mean, yesterday I was in my workshop. I'm trying to get stuff done for the Red Brick House. Time's getting short, and here it is. My phone just starts blowing up with Philly 500 stuff. And more nonsense. Now it's Micah Parsons. It's like don't talk about Micah Parsons. Don't talk about Micah Parsons. That's my guy. And it's just like
going to Philly.
Kind of like you need to slow your roll down there, Philly. You got to slow your roll just a little bit here, buddy. You're getting to be a little crazy. So I texted him back today. I said, man, you're going kind of crazy and stuff. He said, hey, it's getting us through the off season here. I said, come on, man. But you're throwing so much bullshit. He's like, I believe everything I say. Okay.
I actually think he does believe it because I'm telling you, you're not far up the road, Mark, but around here, it's Super Bowl or bust, and nobody's even close. Honestly, that's what it is. So, man, either one of two things is going to happen. Now, we always say, now that Jalen's got the new contract, right?
Of course, now it doesn't matter about paying a quarterback. It doesn't kill your team now.
But now they're the darlings, right? I made a video about it. They're the darlings of the NFL. They are projected to come out, okay? We're not even in the mention, really. Now you're starting to hear Steve Young run his mouth. I'm sure you'll get to it. But we're not in the mention. But along with all that comes what? It comes pressure.
Expectations
and pressure. There's a lot on this team. Either one of two things are going to happen. Either they're going to be successful, run the table, and do what only 4 other teams have done, was lose and then follow up the next year to actually win the Super Bowl. Or they're going to, the pipes are going to burst. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of pressure on that team. They're writing a lot of checks. And everybody around here thinks it's just inevitable. So
listening to Lord Brunson is basically saying, talent-wise, it's not even close between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Like you were talking about, Steve Young basically, lambasted the Cowboys play calling and basically says that our offense has been, plays from like 2015, and we're not like Kyle Shanahan. But last time I checked, has Kyle Shanahan won a Super Bowl?
He has not.
Okay, just checking, just checking for a friend. Going back to the interview there, which was great on Boss Cowboys and Law Nation and crew. They all, when they get together, it's all going to be broadcast on each of the channels. The improvisation, I know I mispronounced that, sorry, that Tony Romo made, and basically looking at some of this stuff and saying, this is a bullshit call. For example, I'll say the last play that we had last year where Zeke Elliott's lined up as a center and we're doing a freaking muddle huddle. That'd been a good time to say, fuck this play. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, Mark.
You don't know what was going on there?
Meaning, why they would do that to Zeke, man. That
was just crazy.
You know what I mean? Now we're hearing that, I'm sure you're going to get to it. I don't know what you have ready to talk about, but, Steve Young's bashing him. Now, all of a sudden, McCarthy doesn't know what he's doing calling plays. He hasn't called plays in a long time. Now, he's not going to be able to get the job done. Like, we've had so much success. You can't have it both ways, people. We've won 12 games the last 2 years, and we're getting,
back to back.
Crapped on. Yeah, but we're getting crapped on for not having postseason success. Why? Because of the play calling. Why? Because Kellen Moore was holding, the call sheet, calling the plays.
But okay, Brian, you and I have talked about this before. We have regular season Cowboys, and then we have playoff Cowboys, and things that we do great, for some reason, don't show up in the playoffs, like 12 personnel.
They actually made a move based on playoff, not what you did in the regular season, and now it seems like they're getting in trouble for that. I don't know what Steve Young is on, but McCarthy is the only coach in the division that has a Super Bowl trophy.
Yes. Right.
So I don't know why you're coming down on him. Kellen couldn't get the job done, is what I was saying. He could put up all the regular season stats. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Is this where we're going? Let's get to the
Well,
football
here's what
thing.
I will say. We know that the Dallas Cowboys are career creators. Steve Young, let go by ESPN. If you want your name out there, you want people to talk about you, you want people to notice you, what do? You trash the Cowboys.
I know, man.
That Joy Taylor last week, you go through. Dak's talented enough to get you to the playoffs. He's talented enough to get you, a win. This, that, but he's not talented enough to win you a Super Bowl. And I'm sitting here looking at some of the numbers of some of the people that are in the Super Bowl. It's not because of their arm and what they did. It's because of the team. And I'm sorry. People keep saying, you just make excuses for Dak Prescott. I will go to my grave and say, when you start the season with one receiver that's got a touchdown pass, you got an offensive line that you lose one of your cornerstone pieces before the season starts, and your quarterback breaks his finger week 1. You're not expected to win the Super Bowl.
No, you're not.
You're not expected. Listen, we all kind of said, man, the season's over. We got no chance.
After the first game of the year, I was down on the team. So to end up where we ended up and actually winning a playoff game after I've had time to digest it. Come on now. We were all there. We weren't happy when we lost to the Niners. We gave up 19 points in a playoff game. You should win that. We didn't. But now looking back, I feel good about what happened last year. I really do.
Quite frankly, to have back-to-back playoff seasons, 12-5, as much shit as Mike McCarthy gets, I actually have to say that this is going to be crazy. To me, he's up there with Bill Parcells at the moment. Between Jimmy Johnson, that's it. That's the list of real coaches that we've had on this team.
And we're in position going into the season as we stand right now to compete with anybody in the NFL. Are we as good as the Eagles on paper? It's close, maybe not. But we'll see.
You know what? They got 7 new starters. Let's see what happens with that.
And I'm kind of being nice. You know how I go. I don't know. It's hard for me to argue that we are right now. It's close, but that doesn't matter. Paper means nothing. What means something is history, the odds, the facts. Facts are, teams don't win back-to-back division titles. It's not a regularity. It's not.
Here's where it's going to be interesting for the Eagles because, listen to Philly 500. He's already going on, Nakobe Dean could lead the team in tackles.
He's got to get on the field first.
Right. And I'm just kind of like, so you're big. You've already said your defense is way better than the Cowboys and everything else. So you're going to say that Nakobe Dean, who got 13 tackles last year, that you're projecting him to lead the team in tackles and to take on the ownership of this defense? A backside linebacker who's kind of smallish?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, with Jordan Davis, because Jordan Davis is Reggie White reincarnated, who, again, didn't stay healthy and is a 2-down player. I look at it and say, well, how about the guys that we're looking at? Damone Clark at least got a lot of experience last year for a guy who had his back fused, no training camp whatsoever or off season, had 49 tackles last year in spot duty. So I'd say I'm looking at that guy and saying I have more faith in him than you should in Nakobe Dean. And when I look at my defensive line, you think about Hankins coming during the season and what he did for the defensive line. That's an upgrade. And with Mozzie Smith there for them to switch time back and forth, I don't know what we're going to get from Mozzie. But, being a rookie, you got to look and say that's a major improvement. We went from, 2 years ago where Neville Gallimore was considered our best player, on the defensive line. He might not make the team.
Yeah, he's on the bubble.
That's
He's
how
definitely on
much
the
this
bubble.
defense has turned around. And as I sit here and look and say, the guys that we have as backups, like Sam Williams. Sam Williams is backing up D-Law. That's a guy I want to see on the field a lot. I mean, 6'4", 261 pounds, 4'4", 640. Let him go ahead and eat on these quarterbacks. In fact, when you look at the defensive line, just the edge rushing, Micah Parsons, 12 sacks last year. His backup, Dante Fowler, right? 8.5 sacks. And, 6 sacks. And Dorrance Armstrong. You got freaking 28 sacks from the defensive end position. You got a rotation of 3 guys that's just unbelievable. And that was without an interior defensive line. So I'm looking at this and saying, yeah, the Eagles are really good. Jalen Hurts is, and I don't mean to take anything from Jalen Hurts, but sorry, the hand that Jalen Hurts was dealt was a hell of a lot better than the hand that was dealt Dak Prescott. You can go through, because you Eagle fans always talk about how great you are, how great your offensive line is, how great your receivers are, how great your running game is. Then you can't look and say, Dallas, you suck at all those positions, and Dak sucks too. Because if you had the same weapons and comparable, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it's funny how the narrative has changed with our Eagle fans here. It doesn't matter that you beat us.
Yeah.
You don't have any playoff success. It kind of reminds me of a role reversal back in the 90s where they would beat the hell out of us in the regular season.
Yeah.
And then we would go on to win a Super Bowl. But that was their Super Bowl. They got to beat us, Now that's kind of like how it is,
But they're not winning Super Bowl.
Well, they won one.
One. Okay. All right. We've got their one. Here's your Super Bowl. Now shut the F up.
I teed that one up for you.
All right. So Terrence Williams, showed his love for his quarterback, Tony Romo, and basically saying that Tony Romo would say, I'm sick of this shitty ass play calling, and would throw plays left and right. He also talked about Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott. He said, Jalen is spectacular. Okay, Eagle fans, pat yourself on the back. But to me, it's not even close. Jalen is more of a runner. He's a ground and pound quarterback. Dak is the best of both worlds. Thoughts?
Yeah,
Are we triggering Eagle fans?
Yeah, and then you have the Eagle fans pulling up stats this year, and I tried to tell them that, Dak missed, 5 games? And Jalen missed 2. That he actually averaged more yards per game this year, Jalen. When you just want to couch, stats and just pull out any given
Cherry
year.
pick. That's what they always do with as Dan Orlovsky says.
I can't argue with something like that.
Any way we want. We often can take numbers and we'll fit them into the narrative that we want to try and paint. And I probably am guilty of this.
There you go.
Can take numbers and skew them any way we want. We often can take.
That's it. They'll cherry pick one statistic, but in the end, to me, this is the one that always kills me. Okay. I just decided I'm going to go ahead and play on Twitter a little bit here. It's kind of like playing on the highway.
Whew, that's
and
scary.
I kind of got in there with some, and they must be unemployed because I ain't got that kind of time to spend, fighting these guys over and over again. But they kept talking about how bad the Cowboys are and how irrelevant, that they've been and so on and stuff. And that we had dusty ass trophies. And I, of course, said, hey, then how come you haven't caught up? How come you haven't caught up? And he then proceeded to go through, well, if you want to talk about history, we have 3 world championships on top of it. And I said, before the Cowboys were in existence. So I said, let me make sure I get this straight. So you were around for 30-some plus years before us, and you're still behind? Counting when there was only 10 teams that you got 3 of them?
And saying that, Yeah, and I agree.
No, it's saying that after always basically saying your 5 don't count. You turn around and start talking about your world championship because before they won one, that was the battle cry. The 3. Now it's, well, you haven't won any.
Well, now I'm
lately.
hearing all the talk about how many they won when there was 11 teams in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The champion, right? Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I can't argue, man, with somebody like that. I'm not here to, listen, I'll be the first one to admit, I've said it over and over. I said it in my last video. I said it in my video prior when I was mad about Jerry doing a Netflix series talking about the 90s. Listen, I love our history. I love Emmett, Tony. I love our guys, but we need to look ahead to this team, and we need to win another Super Bowl. But
I agree.
We're going to look, but if you're going to talk about winning history, then you can't cherry pick, like you said. Eagles have had more recent success. Congratulations, guys. You've done well as of late. You've won one. You've won a few more playoff games. Not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has the same amount of playoff wins as Dak Prescott, and he did it in 1 year. He got hot on a good team. God bless him. Everybody is anointing you everything this year. If you don't get it, there's a lot.
The funny thing is,
there's a lot of receipts going to be carried out.
You know how every year, I got to be careful choosing my words these days. But there used to, wasn't there a movie, The Great White Hope? You remember back in the day? Okay, it was a boxer. Okay, and I'm not trying to be racial or anything like that, but it seems like every year there's always another quarterback that's hyped up over Dak. It was always Carson Wentz. Remember, Carson Wentz is a Maserati. Dak Prescott's a Corvette. And we always have we had Kyler Murray as a guy, or, you said Josh Allen and so on. And it's always a new quarterback that's always there that is going to be better. But it seems like
in LA Chargers, they're
Justin Herbert.
One shit. But anyway.
But the thing is so Justin Herbert, they were up, 26-3 or 26-0, 27-0 and lost in the playoffs? I believe he lost to Dak Prescott in a game, but he's great. But he's great, right?
I know. It's
okay.
Just, I listen, man. I don't know. I think we all know what the media likes to do. You're either gonna praise Dallas or you're gonna crap on them. If you praise them, you're only making one. You know what I mean. But if you crap on them, now everybody comes out of the woodwork. You got people saying, look, you guys suck. That's what makes money. We've talked about it. It's ridiculous.
It is. Well, here's the question now. I'm almost wondering, as ESPN keeps shedding talent left and right, what the heck's going to be left?
YouTube, baby. YouTube.
I mean, are they just wholesaling everything and just we're selling the sports desk and everything else?
Who did they just sign?
Lady Libra, what's up?
Who did ESPN just sign to this mega deal? Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
If you're Pat McAfee, right? You got to be looking around and saying, "Yeah, I got my money, and that's all well and good."
But he actually is taking.
Who am I going to throw to after my show? You know what I mean? Who am I going to bounce? Yeah. What, you going to talk to Stephen A? Stephen A's got 1 foot out. He's already talking about leaving.
I think Stephen A is trying to get fired so that way he'll get the compensation instead of walking away.
He's already said he's ready to do other things.
And, and that's where there are opportunities out there. I believe. I think that, right now, ESPN is, ESPN will always be there with the, actually showing sports and stuff. But as far as the shows,
not what it once was. I'll tell you that.
You hear, of course, Richard Sherman might be, they're interested in Richard Sherman for Undisputed, which might be good for a while, but
better than. It's better than
Shady.
Shady, yeah.
Shady, just ass. I'm sure Shady would be licking his chop to be.
He doesn't do his homework, so That's my problem with Shady. You could tell. You could tell when somebody argues something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're on TV like that. You need to do your homework,
Right.
man.
I agree with you on
have
that
to.
one. His whole take is the Eagles are the best team in the world and the Cowboys suck. And he's not going to
It's
give
only going to
any.
go so far, though. You know, you got to come with something else.
Yeah. Lady Libra, what's up, Lady Libra? How are you doing? Angelica Barron, what's up, Angelica? And we got Casey in the house. What's up, Casey? Oh, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts only had one good season, right? But when did Dak have a good Super Bowl season in his 7 seasons with the Cowboys? Okay. All right, you know, Philadelphia, I don't know why you come here to argue with us. Why don't you go to your own brethren and do your circle jerk together? Because you can just, I just don't understand it. You know,
I can't argue that Dak hasn't been to a Super Bowl, but it's a team game in Philadelphia. Jalen didn't do it on his own.
And
did not.
Quite frankly, with everything that you had going for you, everything, you had the schedule where you ended up playing teams like the Bears, although the Lions were better, but the Lions. You ended up playing the Colts when they got Jeff Saturday and barely beat those guys. You had some of the dreads of the NFL to go through. And hey, I'm congratulating you. You did everything you could to buy that Super Bowl, except maybe bribe the referees. But you still failed on it. So I don't know how you can look at it and say, you know, we were great. We were great. We did something. You still lost the Super Bowl. In the end, there's one team that's happy, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. But, you know, why you care about what Cowboy fans say, I honestly believe the way you guys are here, y'all are worried. Y'all are scared. Or y'all are trying to get your digs in now before shit goes south.
I want to know from Philadelphia. Are you local Philadelphia? Like, you know if he's like lives in Philly?
I know nothing about Philadelphia other than when he gets
Just
blocked, he cries.
He might be able to back me up on this. They're actually blaming. I'm still have guys
on the field.
They're blaming George Toma, who works for the Chief. He's like in his 90s. He was the turf or the grass czar, for all these years. They're blaming the fields because they wet the field down and there was no footing. They're blaming the NFL for that penalty call.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man,
you mean loser talk?
Do you know who you have to blame? Okay, as good as they were at times, you got to blame your defense. They gave up yet another lead at the end of the game. Why can't we look at that and say our defense did not get the job done at the end of the game? You were up. Jalen, the Messiah.
34 points, the most points scored by a losing team.
And you lost. What does that tell you? That's not the field. That's your defense not being able to get stops.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
Shout out to Angelica Barone. I'm gonna be back at the Red Brick House sometime tomorrow. As soon as my brother's finished installing this AC unit that he's got to do in the morning. Yeah, believe me, I've been here actually working on stuff, and I've got actually some really big things that we're going to be doing to the house this week that's going to be really changing the complexity of it. So we'll get you back on track, Angelica. We'll get you back on track. I'm going to have a chair for you out front there. I'm going to have a nice bottle of wine for you and everything else, so you can come on up and just chill at the house and things. They're in their mind, there is no doubt.
Yes.
And it's comical to me because I had, again, when I was there on Twitter, I had this Eagle fan that's like, we only accept excellence. That Dak Prescott in his non-playoff winning self would have been gone out of there. Okay.
Excellence.
And I was like, well, with all the excellence, you still only have one Super Bowl.
They just want to compare themselves to us. They don't actually want to do anything to put their stamp on the league. They just want to be better than us, even if it's in the short term, right? Hey, we're better than Dallas this year, so you suck. Listen, man, again, you guys hit a home run with everything you did. You should have won it.
Yeah, let's see what happens this season.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we have a season that starts out in 54 days, 22 hours, 38 minutes,
I'm
and
ready
10
to roll,
seconds.
baby. I'll be there opening weekend.
Well, we have, you and me, okay.
You going?
Da-da-da. Breaking news here. Me and Game Time Brian, I haven't heard back from David Wiley, so it looks like it's just going to be the two of us. We'll be headed to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Are we getting games for the game? Are we getting tickets for the game? We are.
We have to talk about it.
Okay.
We definitely got to talk about it.
All right. You keep flipping cameras on me, man. Damn.
Come on,
I get used to boom. Okay, all right. See, he's got new toys over there. But we're going to be at the Pro Football Hall of Fame to see DeMarcus Ware and Chuck Howley get inducted along with all the Eagle players that are going in. So what Eagle players are going in?
I don't believe that there are any this year.
They're not? Wait, are you kidding me? With the team that is as talented as the Eagles?
Yeah.
You mean like Nick Foles is not going in, or Carson Wentz or something?
I think they might just put Jalen Hurts in there. just put him right in. Put him and the head coach Nick Sirianni. Just put him right in the Hall of Fame.
Dak would have been a backup on any competent organization. Z-Main, okay, you're new here, aren't you, bro? You're new here. You know what I got for you?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
There you go. How about that one, Z-Man? Don't come in here in my house saying stupid shit, because you know what?
I'm the motherfucking fucking one who calls the shots. And you better pay me the respect that I gave your brother, or we're gonna have a problem.
We're gonna have a problem here. A bad one. Now get the fuck out of here. Okay. All right. Shout out to Tony Soprano.
Well, okay, we got it here. We got Joe Thomas. Long-time offensive lineman for the Browns. Zach Thomas. Now, I don't know about you guys. I'm a little, I don't know if he should have got in.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, okay, look, Zach Thomas, yeah, okay, or Darren Woodson. Or Darren Woodson. See, I think the problem for our Cowboys we got too many.
No, actually, Mark, if you look at, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we actually don't have that many players in.
We're over
in the
20.
grand scheme, like certain teams like dwarf us. We need Darren Woodson. There's a lot of guys that should be in there that are getting penalized because they were on good teams. There's a lot of guys that should be in there. Darrell Revis, he's going in there. He deserves it. Rondé Barber, Don Coryell. That's posthumous.
The Bears have the most.
I did hear Chuck Howley is not doing well.
Yeah, I'm surprised Chuck Howley's still around because
he's got a dementia.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on a show with Mike Tagg and Kelly Canine next week on with me and Primetime Phil, and he's got a lot of connections, and he was telling me that not doing so well. So
there's a lot of players because I know like Charlie Waters,
Joe Klecko. Okay. Ken Riley. I don't remember Ken Riley. Was he Cincinnati? Who was Ken Riley? It says cornerback Ken Riley. Must be an older guy. But anyway, those are the guys. So.
Okay.
But yeah, Chuck Howley not doing well. So he's a little bit before my time, but I don't know that he's going to be doing any signing. All
right. So with the two we have, we'll have 21. The Rams have 19. The Washington football team has 20, so we'll be passing them. The Giants have 21, so we'll be tying them.
See what I'm saying? You would have thought that we would have been past the Giants.
Well, but see, the Giants, they're one of the original teams. And you got to look at, because you got Washington and the Giants as cornerstone teams. So, you got Sammy Baugh back there and things like that. Before the Cowboys were Steelers with 24.
Oh, yeah, there you go. 9.
Green Bay with 26.
Okay.
And then you've got the Bears with 30. So at
See?
21, considering that we didn't become a franchise till 1960, I'm sorry, were the Eagles in the top 10?
How many do the Eagles have? Just curious.
Let
I'm
me
not
see.
trying to be funny either. I'm just.
This was the top 10 list. So Rams,
Yeah, okay. So they're not
Cowboys,
in the top 10.
Raiders have 17. Browns have 17. San Francisco has 16. Huh. Wait a minute. They have to have more than that.
Not necessarily. Bryce, Roger. I don't even know. I guess Roger Craig.
Let's see.
John Taylor. I don't know.
Wow.
The tight end that caught the touchdown against us. Joe Montana, Steve Young.
Now this list here has. See, there's some of them. Okay, you have some that are guys that had a cup of coffee for you that are Hall of Famers. So do you count those? Because if you actually go through here with the list they have that are also members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, some of them might have only been there for a year or two. So it depends on how you look at the list. So this one right here has like 20 some of them on there, but some of them aren't really counted as real players. So if you did that with us, I think you actually have more as well.
Right.
So hold on. I'm trying to see. That's from the Pro Football Hall of Fame itself. Let's put it this way. Okay. Hold up. Everything went black there for. Okay, there we go. I can't get an exact count here, no matter what I do.
But yeah, but you get the point. I was just trying to say. Wait, shout out to Angel59 for the $2 super chat.
Hot dog, shout out. Woohoo.
But yeah, I was just trying to say, I think we get penalized. Eric Williams, I know I think he's a Hall of Famer, man. When you read your white, it tells you that he's one of the best offensive linemen. A guy like that. He had some injuries towards the end, but come on, man, Eric Williams.
Oh man, why can't I think of his name? Emerson Walls was named a finalist for the senior committee, so I think that almost means that he'll be in.
Darren Woodson, we talked about.
Darren Woodson should be in there. Zach Thomas, short linebacker, but has a lot of numbers and deserves. He's kind of borderline. But if he should be in, then that's where you look and say Darren Woodson should be in.
Well, you heard T.O.'s comments, right? Did you touch on that?
No, I didn't hear T.O.'s.
Oh, you didn't hear T.O.'s comments?
No.
Well, you go ahead and look up the article while I'm talking. But T.O. basically, he came out and said that it is an absolute ridiculous that John Lynch made the Hall of Fame before Darren Woodson.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
And, not that, listen, he's right. Now, I'm not trying to say that John Lynch didn't deserve it, numbers-wise, but, I mean, you talk to any coach. There's a reason why Brian Broaddus has had a lot of the great safeties in his career. He had the one in Green Bay. The name is escaping me. He had Brian Dawkins, in Philly because Brian was involved with that team early on. He said that if he had to pick one player's jersey to wear, he would pick Darren Woodson. Darren Woodson was everywhere.
Yeah.
On the field and off the field. He was a quarterback before they had the green dots in their helmet. He was just there every day. He was a pro's pro. The numbers, he has the numbers. He has the longevity. He has the winning. Why doesn't he have the yellow jacket?
3 Super Bowls.
It's just one of those things, man. And he's going to get in, but he should have already been in.
Yeah, but see, again, here's the thing I look at is,
and it's because they don't want us to have too many.
Right, because you had, because of the COVID, you had Jimmy Johnson, you had Drew Pearson, and you had, oh my God, I can't think of his name, our other safety right there. And then you've got now DeMarcus Ware, Chuck Howley. You've got 5 going in the last 3 years from the Cowboys. It's kind of hard to say, well, let's put Darren Woodson to. You're talking about 6? in 3 years. We were already talking about Emerson Walls possibly next year because he's in the senior group. That's a lot from one team.
The fact that Emerson's not in is
another one.
Oh my God. I mean, it just goes on and on. We could sit here and come up with the names, but you get the idea. But you did bring up the fact that we're going. I'm looking forward to going. You were telling me it's kind of a small little town. I hear a lot of great things, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. But yeah, I guess we got to get tickets to the game, right?
Yeah. Okay. So if we're talking, let's see, John Lynch's numbers versus Darren Woodson. Darren Woodson played 178 games to 224. You got 23 interceptions for Darren Woodson in a lot less games, 26 for John Lynch.
In a lot less games.
2 touchdowns returned for TDs. Sack-wise, 13 for Lynch, 11 for Woodson. Solo tackles, Woodson 639 to 727. Forced fumbles, 12 from Darren Woodson, 16 for John Lynch.
They're not bad.
3 championships versus 1. Pro Bowls, Darren Woodson 5 versus 9 for John Lynch. And Pro Bowls 3 and 4. So the numbers are pretty similar. Yeah. John Lynch just played longer.
Yeah, that's what it was. He had a longer career, but yeah, it is what it is. He's going to get in, So, but,
hey, J-Rock Philly, you know what? So, understand. Let me explain something to you. I know I don't look like I'm soon to be 58 years old, but I am an old guy. Okay, Game Time here. He's not anywhere close in age as me, but he's an older person too.
I'm not far from you.
Okay, but still. And a lot of the people that are here are older people that want to have a real conversation about the Dallas Cowboys and football and life. And we're not little punk, grab-ass little freaks that just want to come in and stir some shit up. If you have a real take and want to talk about some football and really talk about the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry instead of just Dak sucks, Dak's a choke, then cool. But if that's all you got, yeah, they're going to time your ass out. I ain't got a problem with it. And if you don't like it, go make a channel where the Mark Holmes hates me, and so I'm going to go ahead and make some videos about Mark Holmes because he timed me out because I'm a freaking idiot. And if you don't like that, remember this.
I'm the motherfucking fucking one who calls the shots. And you better pay me the respect that I gave your brother, or we're going to have a problem. A bad one.
Okay. This is the Dallas Cowboys Joe Boo Sports Report. We're not the frickin' Eagles. Okay, we're not the Eagles channel. If you want that, go to Philly 500 because Lord knows he's praising them to high heaven.
He's going to tell you how good and how many. You're not just going to win one. You're getting ready to go on a run. You're going to win back to back to back.
Good Lord. I don't understand why you guys think that we're supposed to be here kissing your ass. We're not kissing your ass.
And I know Angelica's out there. I know she thinks I give Eagles fans way too much. Listen, I live here. I always want to give them the floor a little bit, but you got to be. I don't see Twiz in the house tonight, but you got to be respectful. If you're just going to spam the chat saying,
seriously,
we're great, you suck, then
come on.
We really don't have too much time for that.
I'm serious.
I wouldn't want to hear that from Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? That's just not how I roll, but.
I mean, seriously. Listen, I love a rivalry. Believe me. Philly 500 and me basically are texting back and forth every day, or we're on the phone with each other a couple times a week. We're friends. We can have a friendly rivalry and stuff like that. But at some point, you just get to be obnoxious. And you kind of screw up the flow for everybody else. So, I mean, just understand, we want to actually have a real talking conversation here as opposed to clown hour. That's all I'm saying, okay? If you want to be a solid, and this goes for dude that has 50 personalities. If you want to come in and actually have real conversations other than Mark Holmes sucks, Dak Prescott sucks, and all that, you're welcome to come in.
Here's a thought.
Okay, I mean, seriously.
I would appreciate this. Why don't you guys come in and ask a question, a serious question, about maybe the upcoming season. I mean, don't you know what I mean? Like, it just gets old to like the same stuff.
I mean,
You guys got to
seriously.
come up with newer stuff, and I respond and I do videos, and it's like I'm trying not to rehash. Right now, Mark, it's a tough time where you get one little piece, you're on it. I can't get on it that quick because I'm working just my job. I can't get on these things as fast as you. You roll, you're putting in flooring, you roll over, that, and that's great. But there's not much going on now. But you guys got to come up with something, right? You got to come up
Well,
with something.
Casey Stewart is right on this. They spend more time in Cowboys chat than Cowboys fans do. Seriously, Eagle fans, get a life.
Why? Because they're probably a dime a dozen on the Eagles, and they are getting all this attention here, which is fine. And most of the people you have in here are great. Make no mistake. The Eagles people, I know on our lives, I like when they come in. I really do. There's very seldom is there like spamming and just ridiculousness, but you can't light them up, people, if they do it. But that being said, we do have a deadline coming up in a couple of days. What do you guys think? Are we going to sign Pollard? Is Saquon?
He's not going to. I don't think anybody is going to get
4
a deal.
o'clock on Monday is the deadline to sign a deal.
I don't think any of them are going to get one. I mean, Tony Pollard knew, I'm going to go ahead and sign this thing right now because, I don't know, they could rescind this thing. And I think he's okay. He's not.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not.
Josh Jacobs, maybe the Raiders decide to try and trade him. I don't know how that's going to work, or if they rescind it or what. But he, he's like, screw y'all. I'll hold out. And I think Saquon, the fact that we heard that they offered $19 million guaranteed, that's less money than the.
Is that what it was? I heard 26 over 2 guaranteed, but I hear so many numbers.
I heard
they wanted basically 13 mil a year. He's looking for McCaffrey money. He's looking for 16 a year.
He's not going to get it.
He's either going. This is my opinion. This is what's going to happen. Either one of two. He's not getting a long-term deal. Okay. Either he's going to hold out, which would be the worst move in his career, or they may come up with a situation where they give him a 1-year, 15 mil, basically up, the money for this year, and agree. I don't know why they would do that, but I'm hearing this that they might agree to not franchise him next year and still try and work on a long-term deal after the season. So that's a possibility.
But if you're actually a team right now and you look at it and say, why am I going to go ahead and break the bank for Barkley when Josh Jacobs is probably going to be out there next year? Cook still has yet to sign with anybody. Running backs. Here's the thing that happened with running backs. You can go back to Todd Gurley getting signed. Todd Gurley was great. But what you have to realize is if you rely on just that one guy at running back, a position that is going to get hurt, and you've seen Barkley get hurt and things, you've seen how it's been devastating for us when Zeke Elliott has hyperextended his knee and things. You're better off actually having not to spend a whole lot of money on those those running backs, and having a couple of guys that are kind of interchangeable.
Crazy. Because I'm looking at Mixon.
Yeah.
Mixon. I don't know if you saw it. Joe Mixon, people. He's 26 years old. 26.
Yeah.
He just restructured his deal. He was scheduled to make $10 million, and he was going to be almost a $13 million cap hit. He restructured. He took a pay cut. He'll make $6 million in base salary. He could make up to $8 million with incentives this year. You have to be, for a guy that was drafted in 2017, has over 5,300 yards, 40 touchdowns, 231 receptions.
He's only getting $6 million a year.
So this all goes into what I was telling you, Mark, that I on the record, I'm fine with it now. How they've done everything, it's fine. I wasn't all gung ho to give Pollard, $10
million.
the $10 million because of that. And now I think what I thought is kind of bearing out. Now they're gonna ride it out, and I think it's fine. Like again, I think it's okay. But that's why I kind of saw what was happening, and I think I was right. I don't think he was going to get anywhere near that. Nobody was going to give him a contract. If they're
No.
not giving Dalvin Cook a contract,
Not
they're
like
telling
that.
Mixon to restructure. They're not giving Tony Pollard coming off.
Look
a
at
broken leg.
Miles Sanders, 4 years, $26 million.
And that's a sneaky loss for you, Eagles. I know you're all hyped up on Swift
Swifter.
and Rashad Penny, but they can't stay healthy. Whereas, I'll tell you, Miles Sanders always seemed a way to hurt us. So, I think Swift is good, but we'll see, man. Health is a big deal when it comes to
I think we
football.
spent too much time on talking about the Eagles and not enough time talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We're into 10 o'clock already here, and we're going to be doing a drawing. But we've got training camp in a little over a week and a half. What are you looking forward the most for training camp this year?
I'm looking forward to seeing our. Well, you're not going to see much. I want to see Brandon Cooks working with Dak. I definitely want to see that. Like offensively, I'm interested in seeing Brandon Cooks, Deuce Vaughn, and like the young offensive lineman. Obviously Dak, but Dak's Dak. I want to see Cooks, Tolbert, Deuce Vaughn, and the lineman.
And Semi
defense,
too.
I want to see Mozzie. I want to see. I just want to see all these young players that they got. I want to see Mozzie, Junior Fehoko, Eric Scott, the cornerback. We're loaded. We're quietly flying under the radar. We are loaded on defense.
What I want to see is, Dan Quinn, he loves, you can see how much Dan Quinn loves working with the players and stuff and guys getting down there sweating and hitting and everything else. I want to see the camp battles on the line there because there's going to be, like you said, we got guys, hey, GA, I love to see the linebackers too, but I want to see that pass rush. I want to see that battle in the middle. I'm still kind of upset that we ended up not keeping John Ridgeway. I would love to have John Ridgeway in the mix there. And FYI, if you look at the numbers of John Ridgeway versus Jordan Davis. Ridgeway actually had better numbers.
Well, I'm a big Ridgeway fan coming out, so I'm still shocked that, whatever, man. I don't know what the heck they were smoking when they put him on there, but shout out to the left hand up Commanders.
There you go. I got a special message for the Eagles.
Fuck them birds. Fly, Eagles, fly. Now we shoot those birds out of the sky. Stupid dumbasses managed to give up a 3rd and 30 to my sexy arm. Pathetic defense and team. No wonder I own those piece of shit frauds every damn year. Don't get me started on the fans. You boo me while I earned a respected award. Losing the Super Bowl was just karma for you fuckheads. I can't wait to drop 100 on your heads next season while being the daddy of the NFC East again.
So let me say welcome to all you Eagle fans. I needed to get over here because we're going to do a drawing and stuff. And let me say we raised over $1,700 for Rashid. We may need to raise some more for him because I think I hate to say it, but I think that you're going to see the Giants not play quite as well as they did last year. But that's just me. What do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll. Linda, shout out to Linda. Very neutral message. Okay, Linda. I can't wait to see the defensive line. I am that guy that loves to see the battles in there, to have Mozzie Smith. I'm hoping that Mozzie Smith can come out the box like most of our first-round draft picks have done. And if he can do that, that defense is going to be tearing some people up. The fact that you've got such depth in pass rushers that they're going to be able to throw fresh body after fresh body against those offensive lines is going to be insane. I'm also curious, although we won't see anything until, it's not like any of the starters are going to be playing during the season. The preseason. But I can't wait to see this offense and what this Texas Coast offense is going to be. The thing that I think I am encouraged by is the analytics people that we brought in.
Yeah, I heard Broadus talking about them specifically. They brought in 3 different people, one being a woman, and they're all going to have different. One's basically solely just in charge of college kids. One is on the field, other teams, and one is basically everything involving every stat of every throw, of every snap, of every run of the Cowboys. So it is very neat. Just not a big analytics guy. I know, and everything helps, but I hope we don't, solely rely on that. But it can hurt. It really can.
Is Philadelphia he's crying, isn't he? Oh, did we hurt his feelings? I'm sorry, Philadelphia. Are you okay? Are you okay, Philadelphia? Okay. They're ripping him a new one. 5 rings. Whose team you
Listen,
on?
man. I think all in all, Philadelphia. I think everybody. Again, I get caught up talking too much Eagles, but that's what everybody's talking about. But I think for the most part, you're treated well in here. I really do.
James Center, nice catch on that 220-pound Sander head. Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about Mozzie. Mozzie, do you know? Now I know we haven't did anything, but I saw early projections. They're projecting him to start.
Oh yeah, on the depth chart, he's listed as first, and then you got Hankins second.
That's what you want. Now, if he can get on the field, that'll be something that Jordan Davis couldn't do, consistently.
Oh,
right?
but according to Philly 500, the reason why everybody else was getting all those sacks was only because of Jordan Davis.
Oh,
yeah, I'm the glass half full guy, but damn, he's just makes shit up. Well, he is crazy on that shit.
I know.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull a name here, and we're going to give away another one of these plaques here tonight. Shout out to everybody who donated to help out Rashid. Like I said, he may need more help when the season gets here because I have a feeling that if Saquon's not there, it's not going to be as good a season as he thinks.
He's going to be there.
Brock's. It's just Brock's.
Brock, shout out.
Mike wrote that one. Brock's, you're the winner. Send me an email to cowboysmark94@gmail. Let me see if I can put that up on the screen. Oh, there we go. Jobu Sports Report. There we go. Cowboysmark94@gmail. Have you put out a prediction on what you think the team's going to do this year?
Early prediction. This was a month ago. I'm going to revisit it, obviously, after preseason, but I have us winning 11. I think we're going to win 11.
That's about where I usually am every year.
Well, just looking at it, I think if we get out to a hot start, then health, obviously. But if we can get out, I think early on might be a little.
It's going to be tough early on. The Eagles have the cake part of their season.
I don't want to be 3-3, but I think that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
If we're 3-3, then 11's looking good. So I don't know. I don't want to, that's just early prediction. Just like the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to get off to a great start just based on schedule. If they don't, they're in trouble. Shout out to Marley Greens, member for 15 months. Hey, I Love Weed. He's still in here? Because I know he's close to Canton. So he needs to come out and hang out with us if he's 45 minutes away.
So Giants, Jets, Cardinals, Patriots, 49ers. You're thinking 3-3?
Who, us?
And Chargers.
Well, I haven't analyzed it as of late.
Okay, if Saquon's, I mean, the Giants haven't beaten us now. And it is New York, but just say hypothetically, I think we beat the Giants.
I want to be. I'm going to the game. Obviously, I want
and
that to happen.
I think we're going to. I just don't know for sure.
Yeah. Well, yes, I'm going to be in the stadium.
Okay.
I want them to win, but if I'm calling it honest, that's a toss-up. I could see us. I think we're going to win. I do think we're going to win the game.
Okay.
But if we lose, so who? And then we got the Jets.
Yeah.
If we,
I think they're the most overhyped team in football.
I think we're going to beat the Jets, but again, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's the only thing is he seems to play well against the Cowboys all the time.
So I'm just saying it's not as oh my God, win-win. Yeah, we can win them both, and I think we're going to beat the Giants. But I think Giants is going to be that game is going to be if you're there, that's going to be a hyped game. First game of the year, Giants coming off a playoff berth, albeit they got smoked on the road. Doesn't matter.
And Saquon not playing.
I think he's going to be there.
You think he's going to be there? Okay. You think they've got a gun to their head and they're going to pull the trigger and get this thing done?
Throw him a couple more mil. He'd be stupid to sit out. It did not work for Levy and Bill.
No,
an NFL team is going to look next year and go, oh, well, we got Saquon on the market. He's fresh. No, they're going to use that against him and go, you're a year older. You didn't even play football last year. You ain't getting a big deal next year. So,
Mark, James? What is that a serious question? Did Too Tall Jones play for the Cowboys too? Is that really a question, James? His whole career.
He in the Hall of Fame? Yeah.
Oh, he's not. Oh, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Oh, is that what the question is? Okay. Yeah. No, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
That's what I'm saying. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, there's a lot of guys, if you think from that doomsday, I mean, some made it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Cliff Harris just went in there, But, okay, so then we got the Cardinals. We should be able to beat the Cardinals. And we got the Patriots. And the Patriots, I mean, unless they get DeAndre Hopkins.
I said worst case if we were 3-3, I want to be better than that, but we have a new offense.
A tweaked offense.
Huh?
A tweaked offense.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's tweaked too. Everybody's saying,
a tweaked offense with better weapons, minus Dalton Schultz and Zeke.
All right, 1-0. We come home 2-0. We're beating the Cardinals. 3-0. Home against the Patriots. That's big. At the Niners.
Yeah.
At the Chargers. Yeah, I could see us losing both of those. So, okay.
Losing to Kellen Moore? I don't know about that one.
I don't want to lose to Kellen Moore.
I don't know about that one. That's one of the ones that I think that the Cowboys really will show up to go ahead and say.
Then you're 5-1 at the bye, if that's the case. And then week 8, it's home against the Rams. You're winning that game. They stink.
Then you got the Eagles.
At the Birds, the Link.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles are going to be favored. They're already favored in that game. So you say we split there. That's a loss. Home against the Giants. At the Panthers. Oh, speaking of the Panthers, I was looking at tickets.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Are they sky high?
And for Carolina, why? It was crazy what I saw.
It's still kind of early. If Carolina goes south, see, that's the thing with me with tickets. I kind of wait a few weeks before because that's when the prices start to go down.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm not buying the tickets now for the Panthers, but I know we talked about going, and I just
it's too early to buy for tickets.
Jesus. So, home against the Commanders, this is our run here. If we go 5-1, like we think that they can go,
and get some momentum.
Well, you got at the Panthers, right? You got the home against the Giants, at the Panthers. Then this is our run. The Commanders at home, Seahawks at home, Eagles at home. Bang, bang, bang.
And then you got to go to Buffalo.
In week 15 in the snow, that's going to be tough. At the Dolphins, that's going to be tough.
At least it's warm.
The Lions, and then
the Commanders,
the left-hand ups. So we'll see.
11 or 12. That's where I am.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. To me, if you end up going 11 wins after having 12 and 12, there's no way in the world that Mike McCarthy should be on a hot seat. That's 3 years of 10-plus wins. But we know how the talking heads and stuff will go. And I look at this and say, this team has been we have rebuilt this roster while still making the playoffs. You look at that defense from 2020 to where it is now.
Shout out to Cassie Stewart. How you doing, Cassie?
He's a Carolina fan from Wisconsin. I think we might go. Okay. All right, Casey, we might see you there. Mark, Mike Fisher has some cool shirts out that say Texas Coast Offense. Okay. I see 12-plus wins. I'll be in Charlotte. Mark, I live an hour away. Okay, Terrell, we'll stop off at your house. We'll all ride over together. How about that?
I want to go. I've already got it in my head that we're going. Just I'm going to believe Mark and wait to get tickets.
I don't want to do.
Looked at them and they were like ridiculous.
I don't want to do the Commanders game week 17 again in the cold, which might be a meeting. That was the worst. It's bad enough to have to go to that damn trashy ass stadium, but to do that at the end of the season when it's not even a meaningful game, not sure I'm going to do that one.
Well, okay, that's fine. I love the idea to go to Carolina. So.
Carolina, I think, because it's November. It's a little further south. The weather should be. It's a 1 o'clock game, so it'll be at least warm.
Yes.
All right. So, what you guys got planned for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, we're going to dig into the defensive backs. I want to touch on the linebackers or young linebackers, but we're just going to talk about everything. We're still in that period of not much going on, but definitely want to dig into the defensive backs. Competition. I want to dig into the linebackers and you get into some lesser name guys who it's time to step up, So it'll be fun.
All right. Well, it sounds like a plan to me. Well, we're going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Angelica, I will be back tomorrow sometime at the Red Brick House, so you can get your Red Brick House fix going on. And as always, I appreciate you. Brock, you are a winner. Make sure you email me, cowboysmark94@gmail. But it's time to get your shot glass ready. And we've got more of the footballs and shot glasses that are going out to you guys. Mike is working on these for the tailgate members. We're going to be sending each one of you guys one of those out, but we've got a lot.
Mine when I show up.
There you go. We're going to be sending those out to all of you guys because, hey, it's time to get your shots on. As always, I appreciate you. Oh, boy. Almost. Good night, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. It's time to turn out the lights. This party's over.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night.